In the news at present with a hit single in French, a British group Fairport Convention. Now, Keith Altham of the New Musical Express recently asked a member of the group what they're doing now.
Well, at the moment we're working on another album, which will be virtually exclusively an album of English traditional and songs that we've written in the traditional idiom, deliberately in that idiom, just for the sake of doing and using English traditional melodies and words, which have been neglected by groups. They've been performed by some. The songs themselves are so much better than a lot of the stuff that's being written now that it's a shame to neglect them any longer.
It did strike me on listening to the album, actually, that there was a great deal of what I could only think of as musical purity about the group. I mean, is this a very dominant feature of your work, that you strive for a very clean and simple approach to your music?
Only in so much that everybody knows pretty well what they want to do, and they're not going to be fobbed off with anything else. We all have our ideals. I suppose nobody's going to play anything that they don't like. And luckily we're in a position where we all like each other's taste.
Would you object to the term ethnic as applied to your group?
No, not at all. No, I'd be rather pleased, in fact.
Do you primarily regard yourself as a folk group, for example? I mean, people always like to categorise, of course.
Well, you categorised us much more accurately when you said that we were probably ethnic. Which is much nicer than folk, because it makes people look it up in their dictionaries.
I noticed that there were 3 Bob Dylan compositions on the album. Is that any one particular person's influence, or is it something that's a common?
No, it's just something that we've all liked Dylan for a long time, and he just is so much of a better songwriter than anybody else around. You know, we do our own stuff because that's a responsibility, I suppose, to do the songs that you write.
It does seem that the Fairport Convention, perhaps not so much in recent weeks, but I mean, you've been a group now for 3 years, established group.
It does seem from the beginning, anyway, established.
It does seem that you've rather fought shy of publicity. I mean, was that a deliberate policy at one time, or has it changed now?
It was something that certain members of the group had a phobia about, I think.
Well, I mean, are you at all embarrassed by the fact at the moment that you have a hit single?
No, I can accept that.
Was it deliberately released as a single because you thought it had a chance of making the charts? Or?
I think it was deliberately released as a single, taken off the album and released as a single because it had a better chance than any of the other tracks for getting airplay, therefore publicising the album and getting the name around, you see. The fact that people have liked it enough to go out and buy it, rather than just thinking, oh yes, Fairport Convention, they've got a new album out, must go and buy their album. The fact that people have gone out and bought the single is secondary. You know, it's very nice that they have done. But
again, of course, this is a Dylan composition, isn't it?
Well, we've done a lot of Dylan songs, like all the way through our career as musicians. We've just done his songs because they were the best ones that we could find.